Hello, I'm Judith Jensen, Director of Educational Solutions. Welcome to Sustaining Salmon, Fishermen, Scientists, and Project CROOS. Ocean salmon come from many rivers. When a salmon stock from a particular river, for example the Klamath River, have numbers too low to allow ocean harvest, fisheries managers can close all ocean salmon fishing to protect that stock. You see, in the ocean, you can't just look at a fish and determine its river of origin. Project CROOS at the Hatfield Marine Science Center in Newport, Oregon, is a pioneering research project. Scientists are using advanced genetics to identify Chinook salmon stocks by river of origin. The objective is to provide fishermen access to healthy, abundant stocks and avoid weak stocks. There has been great progress, but more work is to be done. Project CROOS is science in action, showing what it takes to solve a complex ecological and social problem. Fisheries managers are developing ways to incorporate this new genetic data from Project CROOS. And Project CROOS is combining this genetic data with ocean variables to better understand the distribution of weak and strong stocks in the ocean. This program tells the story of a unique collaboration between scientists and the commercial salmon fishermen whose livelihoods are threatened.
It's a 45-foot wooden salmon trawler. It was built in 1941. It's a work of art, pretty much. It'd be hard for anybody to make them like this anymore. Not enough wood. 22 years ago, I came out to fish with my Uncle Jeff for the summer, and it was 1988, and it just turned out to be the best year pretty much ever. I actually went back home for the winter and came back out the next year and have never gone back. The freedom to not have really a boss, it seems real to me. A lot of jobs that when I was going to college I really wouldn't have liked. I wouldn't do good in an office environment, and I like being outside and catching my own fish and selling them. So I've stuck with it through good and bad. A lot of times I probably shouldn't have, but I'm here and it's what I like to do. I like to salmon fish.
Project CROOS got started in 2005 when we had a fishery failure due to Klamath River fall Chinook. The projections for returns were so low that we had major closures in the commercial fisheries up and down the coast in Oregon and California.
The fishing closures have caused lots of heartache for a lot of people. It just no money.
Our fisheries are managed on a federal level to protect our stocks, and we're managed on the weakest stock. When our fish go out of the rivers and go out into the ocean for our fishermen to catch, the stocks are aggregated, meaning their fishermen are catching Klamath, they're catching Sacramento, Rogue River fish, Chinook River, whatever it may be. This project came about so that we could try to figure out, while the fishermen are on the ocean, which fish they are impacting, and therefore if we find they're impacting too many of one fish, we can have a quick turnaround and ask the fishermen to fish in a different area.
Scientists from Oregon State University were asked by members of Congress if they could use science to help support the fisheries. What they came up with was an idea that has been floating around for about 20 years or more to use genetic information from the fish to identify individual stocks in the ocean and to use that to help manage the fishery.
The congressional delegation in Oregon asked us a simple question. Could we help solve the Klamath problem, the salmon problem in particular? And we were bold enough to say, I don't know if we can solve the problem, but we think we have ideas to help address it. And out of that conversation with our congressional delegation and the university was born the idea for Project CROOS.
How did I get involved with Project CROOS? Well, my boss, Gil Sylvia, came and knocked on my door one day in 2005 and shared with me that Senator Wyden had visited with him and asked if the university could help with a problem associated with the Klamath River fall run and fishermen crisis. These stocks were doing really poorly, and it was apparent that the fishermen were about to be swept off the ocean completely, full stop. Of course, that would be very much a hardship for them. We were reaching a milestone with a project that involved a number of different genetic labs up and down the coast. And this project we call GAPS, Genetic Analysis of Pacific Salmon.
My job is to analyze the genetic data from the fin clips collected by fishermen. I process the fin clips and use genetics and probability to determine each fish's river of origin. We at Project CROOS are developing methods to share this data back with the fishermen, the fisheries managers, and the scientists, so that we can develop new strategies for fisheries management that are more adaptive and are more based on processes that are happening in the ocean as the fishermen are fishing.
Besides the fact that it's technically and scientifically really a fascinating subject, I really do think that the most important part of it is the collaborative nature of it. This is the largest collaborative fishery research project that's been done on the West Coast. I mean, we have had hundreds of fishermen involved in this and gathered thousands and thousands of samples. There have been like three full years of testing now. And so this is really a big project, and just having fishermen working with science and management on that scale is a really significant accomplishment.